What if your body was already warning you about diabetes, but you didn't recognize the signs? Prediabetes doesn't scream for attention, it whispers, quietly, subtly, silently destroying your metabolic health, while you go about your day thinking you're just tired, stressed, or aging. Millions of people walk around every day with blood sugar levels way above normal, and they don't even know it. No pain, no doctor's warning, just slow, progressive damage. But here's the truth. Prediabetes can be stopped, and even reversed, if you catch the symptoms early and act now. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We'll break down the most common symptoms of prediabetes, what they actually mean, and what you can do starting today to take back control of your blood sugar and protect yourself from full-blown type 2 diabetes. Because once it progresses, it's harder to reverse. But right now, you're still in time. Let's start with the first and most ignored symptom: constant fatigue. If you feel exhausted all the time, even after a full night of sleep, it could be because your cells aren't getting the energy they need. Your blood may be full of glucose, but your body can't use it properly due to insulin resistance. This means the fuel is there, but it's locked out. And the result? You feel drained. Not just physically, but mentally too. Simple tasks feel overwhelming. You stop enjoying things you used to love. And you blame it on age, when it might be your blood sugar levels. Now let's talk about the second major warning sign: belly fat that won't go away. Even if the rest of your body seems normal, fat accumulating around your midsection is often a sign of metabolic dysfunction. It's not just about calories or lack of exercise. This is a hormonal issue, especially related to insulin. When your insulin is high all the time, your body is in storage mode. It holds onto fat, especially visceral fat, which sits deep inside your abdomen and increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. If you've been eating healthy, walking, even dieting, but that belly stays the same, it could be your body telling you that something deeper is off. Next, cravings, especially for sugar and carbs. If you find yourself constantly reaching for snacks, sweets, or bread, that's not just willpower. It's blood sugar dysregulation. Your body spikes and crashes. You eat something sweet, feel good for a while, and then crash. Hungry again, irritable, anxious. This roller coaster is one of the most dangerous patterns in prediabetes because it slowly wears out your pancreas and deepens insulin resistance. But again, if you're here, it's not too late. There's something you can do. But first, let's look at another symptom you probably didn't know was connected to blood sugar: blurry vision. Yes, even if your eyesight is generally fine, occasional blurriness, especially after eating, can be an early sign that your glucose levels are spiking. High blood sugar can affect the fluid inside your eyes, changing their shape temporarily and impacting how you see. It doesn't mean you're going blind, yet, but it does mean your blood sugar chart is already moving into dangerous territory. And if you ignore it, it can lead to diabetic retinopathy, which damages the blood vessels in your eyes permanently. That's why this symptom should never be ignored. Let's pause here. If any of these symptoms sound familiar: fatigue, belly fat, cravings, blurry vision, you're not alone, and you're not broken. Your body is still trying to protect you, but you have to listen. In the next block, we'll go even deeper. We'll look at hidden internal symptoms that don't show up on the outside, but are already hurting your cells, your nerves, and your long-term health, and we'll begin to reveal what you can do to stop it. Stay with me, because the next signs might surprise you. Let's keep going, because not all symptoms of prediabetes are visible. Some of them are happening deep inside your body, and you won't feel them until it's too late. One of the most important internal signs is something called inflammation. When your blood sugar stays high too often, your body enters a low-grade inflammatory state. You may not notice it right away, but it's silently affecting your blood vessels, your organs, and your nerves. This inflammation can show up as brain fog, aching joints, or slow recovery from small injuries. It's also a key reason why people with prediabetes feel like their immune system is weaker. They catch colds more easily. They feel off more often. And doctors rarely connect it to blood sugar. But there's more. Let's talk about nerve damage. You may have heard of diabetic neuropathy, but what you might not know is that it doesn't only happen with full-blown diabetes. Pre-diabetic neuropathy is real, and it starts earlier than most people think. If you ever feel tingling, numbness, or burning sensations in your feet, toes, or fingertips, that could be your nerves struggling from glucose overload. Nerve cells are extremely sensitive to sugar, and when your blood sugar spikes and crashes repeatedly, those nerves get damaged, slowly and silently. Once again, there may be no pain at all, just a strange sensation that comes and goes. That's the window to act. Now let's look at your sleep. Are you waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. for no reason? Are you tossing and turning, sweating in the middle of the night? This might not be just anxiety or hormones. It could be blood sugar crashing while you sleep. Here's how it works. When your fasting blood sugar spikes during the day, your body overcompensates and drops it during the night. This can wake you up, make you sweat, and prevent deep rest. And guess what? Poor sleep makes insulin resistance worse. It's a vicious cycle. High sugar, poor sleep, higher sugar, and so on. But that cycle can be broken. Let's shift gears for a moment. Most people think prediabetes is caused just by eating too much sugar. But the real root of the problem is deeper. It's insulin resistance. That means your body still makes insulin, sometimes a lot, but your cells aren't responding. It's like knocking on a locked door. The more you knock, the louder it gets, but no one opens. Your pancreas keeps pumping insulin. Your blood sugar still rises. And over time, your pancreas starts to burn out. This is the true engine behind prediabetes, and it's why simply cutting sugar isn't enough. You need to restore insulin sensitivity, especially in your muscles and liver. So what can you do? Here's where the hope begins. There are 3 powerful changes that can dramatically improve blood sugar levels and insulin resistance without medications. The first is movement. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours in the gym. Just walking after meals, even 10 minutes, can lower your blood sugar significantly. Why? Because movement allows your muscles to absorb glucose directly without needing as much insulin. It's like opening the door manually instead of knocking. The second is meal timing. Spacing your meals at least 4 to 5 hours apart gives your insulin a chance to drop. This improves sensitivity and lowers inflammation. Also, consider an early dinner. Finishing your last meal before 7 p.m. has been shown to improve fasting blood sugar overnight. And the third is fiber. Fiber slows down how fast sugar enters your blood. Start every meal with vegetables, especially leafy greens or cruciferous options like broccoli or cauliflower. This small trick can cut your glucose spike in half, especially if you eat carbs after, not before. And here's a bonus. Drink a glass of water with apple cider vinegar before a carb-heavy meal. It can reduce the sugar spike significantly by improving insulin sensitivity and slowing digestion. But remember, none of this works if you don't know the symptoms. That's why we're here. In the next block, we'll go even deeper into real-life case signs, what blood sugar numbers actually mean, and how to recognize if you're already crossing the line from prediabetes to diabetes. Because awareness is the first step. But action is what truly changes everything. Now let's talk about something most doctors never explain clearly: your blood sugar numbers. If you've ever had blood work done, you probably saw terms like fasting glucose, A1C, or postprandial blood sugar. But what do those numbers really mean? Let's break it down. Simply, your fasting blood sugar level is the amount of glucose in your blood when you haven't eaten for at least 8 hours. A normal range is usually 70 to 99 mg/dL. Prediabetes starts at 100 to 125 mg/dL, and type 2 diabetes is diagnosed when it's 126 or higher on 2 separate occasions. But here's what most people don't realize. You can already have major insulin resistance, inflammation, and damage at levels that are still considered normal. especially if your blood sugar spikes after meals. That's called your post-meal blood sugar, or postprandial glucose. 2 hours after eating, your blood sugar should be under 140 mg/dl. If it's regularly spiking to 160, 180, or more, even if your fasting number is okay, you're on the path toward diabetes. And then there's HbA1c, or glycated hemoglobin. This number reflects your average blood sugar over the past 3 months. A healthy A1C is usually below 5.7%. Prediabetes is 5.7 to 6.4%. Diabetes is anything 6.5% or higher. But again, even if your A1C is 5.6%, you might already have insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction, especially if you're feeling the symptoms we've described. Let's make this real with a quick example. Imagine a woman in her 50s. She eats what she thinks is a healthy diet: cereal for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, pasta for dinner. She feels tired all the time, has stubborn belly fat, and wakes up at night for no reason. She goes to her doctor. Her fasting glucose is 103. They tell her it's a little high, but nothing to worry about. 3 years later, she's diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That story happens millions of times a year, and it's completely avoidable. So how do you know if you're crossing the line from prediabetes to diabetes? Here are some danger signs that should never be ignored. You feel thirsty more often, even when you're hydrated. You urinate frequently, especially at night. Your vision changes unpredictably. Your cuts or wounds heal slowly. You feel tingling in your hands or feet. You gain weight in your midsection, despite dieting. You feel hungry shortly after eating. You wake up tired, even after sleeping 8 hours. If you experience 2 or more of these regularly, your body may already be struggling to manage blood sugar properly. But this is not a message of fear. This is a message of empowerment, because your body is still fighting for you. Every cell, every hormone, every heartbeat is trying to bring you back into balance. You just need to give it the right tools. And that starts by understanding what's happening, then taking action. And in the next block, we're going to look at exactly that: how to reverse prediabetes naturally, what to eat, what habits to build, and what to avoid, step by step. No gimmicks, no magic pills, just truth and a path forward. Let's keep going. Let's talk about what you can actually do to reverse prediabetes, starting today. Because knowing the symptoms is just the beginning. Action is what changes your life. And the good news? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent with a few smart habits that retrain your body to use insulin properly and bring your blood sugar levels back to normal. Let's start with your first meal of the day. If you eat breakfast, make it low in sugar, high in protein, and rich in fiber. Avoid cereals, toast, and fruit juices. Instead, go for eggs, avocado, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, or a small handful of nuts with some greens. Why? Because your first meal sets your blood sugar tone for the rest of the day. If you spike early, you'll crash later. But if you stay stable, your body runs smoothly. Now let's talk about walking. Walking after meals, even just 10 minutes, can cut your blood sugar spike in half. This is one of the most powerful, underused tools you have. Your muscles act like sponges. When you move, they pull in glucose from your blood, and they don't need insulin to do it. That means more energy, less sugar floating around, and less insulin resistance over time. It sounds simple, but it works. Next, intermittent fasting. You don't have to starve yourself. Just create a daily window where you eat, and a window where you don't. For example, eating between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. gives your body 16 hours to reset, burn fat, and improve insulin sensitivity. If that's too much at first, try 12 hours, like 8 to 8. Even that can help lower fasting blood sugar levels dramatically over time. But remember, quality of food still matters. So let's talk about what to include and what to avoid. Eat more of leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, walnuts, seeds, proteins, eggs, chicken, fish like salmon or sardines, fermented foods, sauerkraut, kefir, yogurt with no added sugar. These help stabilize blood sugar, improve gut health, and reduce inflammation, all essential for reversing prediabetes. Avoid fruit juices and sodas, even natural ones. White bread, pasta, and rice. Breakfast cereals and granola pastries, cookies, and anything labeled low-fat but high in carbs. Snacking all day. Each of these triggers blood sugar spikes, forces your body to release more insulin, and keeps you trapped in the insulin-resistant cycle. Let's add another powerful strategy: stress management. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, and cortisol raises your blood sugar, even if you're not eating anything. That's why chronic stress can keep your numbers high, no matter how clean you eat. Just 10 minutes a day of deep breathing, stretching, or going outside in nature can lower cortisol and help normalize your glucose levels. And don't underestimate the power of sleep. Aim for at least 7 hours of consistent sleep. Your body resets overnight. Hormones rebalance. Insulin sensitivity improves, but only if you get real rest. If you're waking up often or going to bed late and eating before sleep, that might be sabotaging your entire progress. And finally, monitor your blood sugar, but not obsessively. Tracking your fasting glucose a few times a week can help you see progress and stay motivated. You can also use a continuous glucose monitor, CGM, for a few weeks if possible, to really understand how your body reacts to different foods. You might be surprised. Sometimes healthy foods spike your sugar more than you think. The key is awareness, and then adjusting. In just a few weeks, with consistent effort, people often see lower fasting, blood sugar, weight loss around the belly, more energy and clearer thinking, no more cravings or crashes, better sleep and digestion, and most importantly, a path away from diabetes. But the earlier you start, the better. In the final block, I'll give you a powerful summary of everything we've learned, and share one message I want you to remember for the rest of your life. Because if you're feeling overwhelmed, I promise, you're not alone. And this journey, you're strong enough for it. Let's take a breath. We've talked about a lot today, from the silent symptoms of prediabetes like fatigue, belly fat, blurry vision, and sugar cravings, to the internal damage caused by inflammation and nerve stress, to the warning numbers most people never understand until it's too late. And finally, we covered the powerful steps you can take to stop prediabetes in its tracks. Simple things: eating the right foods, walking after meals, spacing out your eating window, sleeping better, managing stress, being aware of what your body is trying to tell you. Without fear, without shame, without guilt. Because your body isn't the enemy. It's the messenger. It's telling you that something's off, and it's asking you for help. The truth is, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not too late. You are in the exact right moment to change everything, starting now. Thousands of people have reversed prediabetes by making small but consistent changes, not because they were perfect, but because they decided to stop ignoring the signs. And you can do that too. You don't need another crash diet. You don't need to live in fear. You just need the truth and a plan that works. If this video gave you clarity, hope, or a new understanding of what's happening inside your body, then I want you to take the next step. There's something waiting for you in the link below, something that's already helping thousands of people naturally lower their blood sugar and fight back against type 2 diabetes without extreme diets or medications. It's helped others, and it might be exactly what you've been searching for. So take a look. It's right there in the description. And if this message resonated with you, I want you to do 3 things. Like this video, so more people like you can find it. Leave a comment below and tell me what symptoms you've experienced or what you're changing starting today. And subscribe to this channel because we're building a space for truth, healing, and real transformation, one video at a time. You're not alone in this, and you're stronger than you think. Thank you for watching. I'm proud of you for being here, and for choosing to listen to what your body has been trying to say all along. We'll see you in the next video.